Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 10th December 2025. Let's get started with our discussion, guys. Before getting started, let us see the important articles of the day. So first article, it is about citizenship under CAA only after scrutiny, says Supreme Court. So this article is talking about citizenship under Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. And there is a linking between citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019 with that SIR, Special Intensive Revision in certain states. So this article is very important from your GS paper to under polity point of view. And you may expect both mains and as well as prelims based question from this area, guys. Our next topic is Trump mulls tariffs on Indian rice. Move may affect US more. So this article is talking about again the fresh allegations of US President Donald Trump, and he says that he wants to impose more tariffs on Indian rice. So here, whenever this kind of move is taken by this Trump, it will be going to affect US more compared to that of India. So we have to see why US is going to get affected more than India because of this tariffs on Indian rice. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under economy point of view, and as well as from GS paper 2 from international relations point of view, guys. And next topic is over 30% of students in Odisha schools drop out before higher secondary level, says CAG. So here the keywords are, the first one is CAG and next one is dropouts in schools. Here you have to see what are the reasons for these dropouts and what can be done. And this topic is important from GS paper to under polity and as well as from GS paper to under governance point of view, guys. Next topic is Aditya L1 joins global effort revealing why 2024 solar storm behaved unusually. So here in this article, you have to know about what this Aditya L1 is about, and you have to see what is this identification of Aditya L1 regarding this 2024 storm. And in this image, you can see here we have Aditya L1 which is showed in this orange color. And apart from that, you can see other satellites which are there here in this region. Here you can see Wind, Artemis, ACE, Discar, MMS, Stereo A. Along with this Aditya L1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other satellites which are focusing on the study of sun, guys. Okay, so along with the 6 satellites, now Aditya L1 also joined a global effort, and we identified what is the reason behind this 2024 solar storm which behaved unusually. And here in this area or in this Aditya L1 or like regarding this 2024 solar storm, you can get a prelims based question and you have to be thorough with that. And this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology, guys. And next topic is Suryakiran exercise, that is India Nepal army exercise concluded. So here if you're getting this kind of exercises that you have to note, and already we discussed about the Suryakiran exercise in our earlier class. And this topic is important from defense point of view from GS paper 3 and as well as from international relations point of view from GS paper 2, guys. And next topic is Supreme Court asks Center to give nationwide data on missing children. So this article is talking about children, and here Supreme Court is asking to provide data on missing children. So this article is talking about one important concept called as Mission Vatsalya, and you may get question on that, guys. And you have to add this article in your society class where we discussed about women, children, vulnerable sections of society. Apart from this, there are 3 editorials which appeared in our today's newspaper. All these 3 articles we had discussion in our earlier class. One is about fire accident in Goa, already we did that. And next one is in yesterday's class we discussed about people with disabilities. The same article had been repeated. And apart from that, there is one more article that already we had discussion. I will let you know, I will show those articles at the end of the class, guys. Now let us see the first article. Look at the title. Title says citizenship under CAA only after scrutiny, says Supreme Court. And most of our today's articles in our Hindu newspaper are about this topic. They said about SIR. What is SIR? Special Intense Revision. So where we are going for this Special Intense Revision? Recently we went in this state of Bihar, and even we are going with this West Bengal and even Kerala. So most of our country, in many states, wherever they are having these elections, they are going for this special entrance division. What is a special entrance division? They are going for checking of documents, and even they'll go for door-to-door survey, and they will see the persons and they will get the data, collect the data, and based on that they will see whether they have to give this voter ID or whether they have to cancel this voter ID. And we know that in Bihar, many people, they lost their voting rights because of this SIR, right? So that is the issue. And now after in that Bihar, now we are implementing that same kind of SIR in different states. Now it is going on in this West Bengal. Recently we discussed one article. There are some migrants which are asking for this voting rights in this West Bengal, and they are doing protest. Yes. And now in this state of Kerala also we are having elections, and there also they are going for this SIR. Because of this, many articles in our newspaper are covered this area, guys. Okay, now what is the issue here is, who will get this voting rights? What is the eligibility criteria? First one is they have to be citizen of India, and they have to get age. What is the age? 18 years. Actually, when we got independence and when our constitution came into force, our Indian constitution provided universal adult suffrage. That is nothing but if you get 21 years, you will be getting voting rights. And later on, through the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act, we reduced that age from 21 to 18. Now, if you are getting this 18 years of age, now you will be getting this voting rights. You can vote. So what is happening here? Recently, we came up with this amendments to Citizenship Act of 1955. So which act talks about citizenship in India? That is, parent act is Citizenship Act of 1955. And after that, we made lots of amendments to that, and we are incorporating whatever the things that we need. And recent amendment to the Citizenship Act in India is Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, guys, and you have to remember this. And what changes we made through this act? Now, we made certain changes to this Parent Act. Under the Citizenship Amendment Act, we are going to give citizenship for people who came from 3 countries. Which are those countries? Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. From these 3 countries, for people who entered into India, for migrants from these 3 countries, we are going to give citizenship. And that too for 6 communities. Which are those 6 communities? We have Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Sikhs, and Christians. Okay, one more. 6. For these 6 communities, we are going to give citizenship who came from this Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and we are excluding whom? We are excluding Islam or Muslim people. We are not going to give this citizenship. Why we are not going to give this citizenship for this Islam or Muslims? These 3 countries are Muslim dominated countries. So in that Muslim dominated countries, these Muslims will become majority, right? They will not become minorities. So whenever refugees comes, whenever the migration happens, normally minorities will be coming out of that country because of this persecution against its minorities. So our government of India said that under the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, we are going to give citizenship for these 6 communities who are coming from this 3 countries, and they gave one term and condition. What is a term and condition? They have to enter into India before 31st December 2014. If they came to India before this date, now we are going to give the citizenship for them. Okay. So what happened now is, the people who entered into India from these 3 countries, from these 6 communities, they are getting a citizenship. So whenever they are getting citizenship, what happens? They become COI, citizens of India. So because of the citizens of India, they are qualifying. Now they are getting voting rights. Now they can vote in elections. If you see this northeastern part of India, we have this problem of migration, refugees, illegal migrants. It's the rampant problem in this northeastern part. So now here, if people who are entering into India without valid documents before this December 31st, 2014, if they are getting the citizenship rights, if they are getting right to vote, it will be impacting entire voting system and democracy in that so and so area. So because of this, now Supreme Court said that we are going to conduct SIR in that states properly, and after conducting of this SIR, we are going to give this voting rights. And Supreme Court said clearly that the people who got citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, they have to go for proper scrutiny. And after proper scrutiny, we have to ensure that yes, they are becoming the citizens of India, and then only we are going to provide this voting rights. So because of this is a news case. Okay. No, Sri Lankan Tamilians are not included here because only 3 countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh are included in this act, not Sri Lankan Tamilians. So yeah, because of that only we are having certain discrimination like that thing which is going on. So debates are going on regarding the Citizenship Amendment Act. Why? Because here we are excluding this Muslims. And actually in our constitution we have Article 14. What Article 14 says that? Right to equality. Why we are discriminating based on religion? In that articles also they are saying that we should not discriminate based on sex or like religion or region, everything, right? But on religion we are excluding that. This is a one debate. And next one is why only these 3 countries? We are sharing boundary with other countries also, but why only these 3 countries taken into consideration? And even Sri Lankan Tamils, they entered into India, it was like more than 40 to 60 years also, but they are even today fighting for the citizenship rights. But why we are not including the Sri Lankan Tamilians? So like that there are certain debates that are going on regarding the Citizenship Amendment Act also. So those you can write in the negatives of the Citizenship Amendment Act. Okay. Yeah, now let us see the context. Supreme Court observation during a hearing on a petition related to CAA 2019. That is intersection with electoral roll revisions under special intensive revision process. It highlights that court says citizenship under the CAA is not automatic. It requires thorough scrutiny before granting rights of voting. So before giving these voting rights under this SIR, we need to go for proper scrutiny and we have to check thoroughly whether they are meeting this eligibility criteria for getting citizenship under this CAA 2019 or not. So here I want to ask you one question. How can we get citizenship in India? What are the ways through which we can get citizenship? I think in your Lakshmikant you have this. We have 5 ways through which we can get citizenship of India. First one is through birth. If you are born to Indian citizens, obviously you will be getting that Indian citizenship. Next one is through descent. Descent is nothing but ancestry. And next one is naturalization. What is this naturalization? What is this naturalization? If you came to India and if you are living in India for certain years, then you will become a citizen of India through this method of naturalization. And next one is through acquire of territory. Acquiring of territory. For example, India acquired any territory, then that people of that territory now will become Indian citizens. Next one is through registration. If you are registering, registration. Through this 5 process, we can acquire citizenship of India. But now under the CAA 2019, Government of India is providing through this process called as naturalization. And through this naturalization also, there are some exceptions which had been made by Government of India. And you have to see what are those exceptions under this naturalization which came up by Government of India to provide citizenship for this migrants from these 3 countries case. Okay, now if you see the details, Supreme Court said that we have to go for inclusion of refugees who are protected under the CAA in electoral rolls is entirely dependent on whether they are successfully meeting the conditions of naturalization or not. So they have to meet this conditions of naturalization, then only under this act they are going to get citizenship. That is the first point which made very much clear by the Supreme Court. And next one is conferment of citizenship rights, example voting to religious minorities fleeing from these 3 countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, will only occur after authorities verify and confirm their claims. What are the claims you're confirming that we entered India before this 31st December 2014 and we need to go for clear-cut verification of their claims, then only they'll get this citizenship rights and even voting rights. And next important point said by this Supreme Court is every individual claim must undergo inquiry. For every person who are getting the citizenship, for each and every person we have to do inquiry, and inquiry should be done by relevant authorities before rights are extended. Before getting this voting rights, for giving of the citizenship itself, for every single individual we have to go for inquiry. And next one is once naturalization is achieved through proper procedures, now those individuals are eligible to get this voter IDs. Their names will be included in this voter list. So now they can apply for this voter IDs case. So these are the 4 important points which said by the Supreme Court. First one is they have to meet this criteria of naturalization. Second point is we have to go for verification process for these minorities. Next one here is for every single individual we have to go for inquiry, and after meeting this criteria of naturalization, then only they can apply for this voter ID. Normally we also, after getting this 18 years, we will be applying for this voter ID, right? So in the same way, they can also apply for this voter ID after everything done clearly. And now let us see what are the features of this CAA Act of 2019. There is a very high chance of getting question regarding this case. And this year you have to focus on citizenship chapter in your polity Lakshmikant. Each and every provision try to read carefully, guys, and focus more should be on this CAA 2019. It amended Citizenship Act of 1955. And now this Amendment Act is going to give citizenship for illegal migrants from which countries? Countries are very important: Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. And there are 6 communities: Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis and Christians. Who are these illegal migrants? You know, the people who entered into India without valid travel documents. They are called as illegal migrants. And they mainly face prosecution or deportation or imprisonment, and they have fear in their original country or home country. They will cross the border and they will enter into India without any valid documents. And they are treating this 31st December 2014. Please make a note. 31st December 2014 is the date or timeline. Before, if they are coming before this date, yes, they are now eligible for getting the citizenship. And please make a note, relaxation. Normally, if you want to get the citizenship under naturalization, you have to live in India for minimum 11 years. After living minimum 11 years, if you're not having any civil case or criminal case against you, then you can apply for the citizenship under this naturalization. Under this Citizenship Amendment Act, we relaxed this 11 years to 6 years. Now it is not required like 11 years. If you are staying in India for 6 years also, now you can apply for this citizenship. You are eligible under this naturalization rules. There is one more thing they said. And next one here is this act which also exempts these communities from prosecution under 2 acts. First one is Foreign Act of 1946 and next one is Passport Act of 1920. So these are the 2 acts. We will use those 2 acts to punish the people who entered into India without proper valid travel documents. And now these people are exempted from these acts from punishments as well. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember. And at last, we are going to practice prelims questions also. And one more thing, guys, online students, if you want to give the review for our academy regarding current affairs or any other course that you had joined here, or if you have direct attachment with me, so please do give your Google review. It is very precious, guys. It will be helpful for our growth. So for this Google review, if you want to give, and if you want to give star rating for our academy, I already shared Google review link in the description box. So please click that link and give the rating and as well as give your review, guys. It will be very helpful for us. Don't forget, don't give your review in the comment box. Okay. Yeah, next, let us see the next article. Very important article of the day. Trump mulls tariffs on Indian rice. Move may affect US more. Okay, as you all know that India is exporting goods to US. And what is the problem with India-US trade now? US is imposing how much amount of tariff? 50% of tariff on our Indian goods. Why US is imposing 50% tariff? Because India is importing oil from Russia and US wants to mediate Russia-Ukraine war. So US came up with this Russian Sanction Act 2025 and started imposing tariffs on the countries which are importing oil and as well as energy from Russia to hit economy of this Russia hard, right? And now, recently, if you see this yesterday's news, yesterday US President Donald Trump had meet with American farmers. In that meet, one farmer suddenly stood up and he said that our rice is becoming cheap. Our rice is becoming cheap. Other countries are dumping rice in American market. So here American farmer said that Indian rice, Thailand rice, and even Chinese rice imports are increasing in US market. So because of this, there is decreasing of price of American rice. Because of this, American farmers are getting less income. Income and livelihood of this American farmers are hit by this Indian and Chinese rice. That is a claim set. And immediately Trump stood and said that if they are dumping the goods, if they are dumping the rice, I will not see. I will impose more tariffs on this rice which is coming from this India. And he said that I will solve this problem within 2 minutes. And because of this, entire headlines of different media channels is like Trump is hitting Indian rice with increased tariffs. So actually this is the thing which happened. And now you have to see what is the meaning of dumping. Do you know, have you heard this word dumping, guys? In your economy, I think you might have heard about this dumping. To stop this dumping, we will impose anti-dumping duties. So what is the meaning of dumping? Dumping is very important topic in your economy. You will be studying about this dumping in this chapter called as trade chapter. Every country will be dependent on one or other countries for its imports and as well as exports, right? So not even a single country is self-sufficient. If any country is self-sufficient, it will not go for trade with other country, right? So but every country is not having equal resources, equal food production. Every country is having different problems, and because of increasing of technology, there is increased wants of people every day. To satisfy the wants of the people, we have to go for trade with other countries. So what all trade includes? Trade includes two things. First one is imports, next one is exports. Okay, if you take example of India, we'll get most of the goods from our nearby country. What is that? China. So have you ever compared Indian products and Chinese products in the market? So which is the cost less? Chinese products will be normally costless. So dumping is nothing but China is exporting goods to India at a very cheap cost or at a very low cost. Even that cost is less than the cost price. What are the price that is required to produce one good? For example, let us take 5 rupees per pen. 5 rupees is required to manufacture this pen. But China is exporting that pen to India for 4 rupees or 3.5 rupees like that. Then that is called as dumping. So why these countries are doing this dumping? Because in India, if we are getting that Chinese pen and as well as Indian pen in the market, for example, you are looking for a ball pen of 0.7 mm in the market. You went to nearby bookstall. You went to Vikas bookstall. So there you saw 3 brands of 0.7 mm of pens. One is from China, one is from India, and one is from other country. Okay, for example, Sri Lanka. So here, Indian pen is 10 rupees for 0.7 mm. And Chinese pen is 5 rupees for 0.7 mm. And Sri Lankan pen is 8 rupees. So which one you will buy? Obviously 5 rupees pen, Chinese pen. So what is happening here? So because of this dumping, whenever countries are sending the goods or exporting the goods at a cheaper price compared to that of even cost price, then what happens? Goods will available at a very cheap or very low cost. So because of this, now there is increased demand for the cheap products which are available in the market. So now here US is saying that from China and from India, they are dumping the rice in USA market. That means rice which is coming from this China and India are at a very low cost compared to that of American rice. So because of this, American rice is not competitive in USA market. So now USA or American farmers asking this Donald Trump to impose tariffs. Now what will this US do? US will try to impose more taxes or tariffs on Indian and as well as Chinese rice now. So because of this, what happens? Indian rice will increase cost in this USA market. So that now USA people will buy this USA rice. So that is about this idea. So this kind of tariffs which will be imposed on this goods which are coming at a cheap cost are called as anti-dumping duties. They want to stop dumping of goods, guys. So this is called as anti-dumping duties. But now if you see this title is saying that if Trump impose the tariffs on Indian rice, it will affect US more. What does it mean? Okay, now again we have to listen one more story. So we are exporting lots of goods to US. In this lots of goods, India is exporting only 3% of rice to US. So we are exporting only 3% of our goods. So in all our 100% of our exports to US, in this 3% of goods will be only rice. In this rice also, 86% of rice will be basmati, premium basmati rice. We are sending premium basmati rice. So when we'll use this basmati rice, guys? Do we use daily to eat? Commonly, no. Only for biryanis and pulavs, we'll use this basmati rice. And actually, basmati rice will be used more in this Indian restaurants compared to that of common day-to-day people. Day-to-day people will consume less. Yes or no? Normally, if you go to any supermarkets, will we buy a bag of 25 kgs of basmati rice? Only we'll get just 1 kg or 2 kg which will be useful in that month, which will be used in that month. Rather than that, we'll not go for buying of 20 or 25 kgs of basmati rice, right? So here in this 86% of rice of this basmati that we are exporting to this US, normally used by this Indian restaurants. Okay, so now if US is imposing more tariff on this 3% rice, we are not going to affect anyway. And one more thing here is already US is imposing 53% of rice, 53% of tariff on our Indian rice. Okay, it is the highest tariff which is imposed by already US government on Indian rice. And one more thing I want to say here is, if you see about this Indian, have you heard about this Indian Gate basmati rice? Indian Gate is one important and good premium basmati rice brand in India. The cost of this Indian Gate basmati rice in US is around $20 to $25. But if you see this American rice price is just $8 to $10. So which price is more? Indian Gate basmati rice price is more. How can we say that India is dumping goods? If India is dumping goods, the price of this basmati rice should be less than this American rice price, right? So if you see the data also, data is also not at all matching anywhere to say that India is doing dumping in this American market. So that is also one more important thing that we can say, that India is not going to affect anywhere. So who is going to affect here? This American based Indian restaurants and the people who are buying this basmati rice, common Indian citizens who are buying this basmati rice will be getting affected rather than our India, directly our country, guys. So that is about this idea of this article. Have you understood? Here you have to see what is dumping, what is anti-dumping duty, and you have to see the details of this. And one more thing we can say is why India is not going to affect it is, if they are going to increase this already 53% of tariff on Indian goods, means we can reach other markets. We have other markets. We have West Asian countries. West Asian countries are good for, already these West Asian countries are like Arab countries, Muslim countries. Muslim cuisine is famous for this biryanis, which they will use this basmati rice. We can reach this West Asian countries, and even we have African countries, we can reach these countries if in case US is imposing more tariff on this 3% of rice. So here, do we get affected? For sure, we are not going to affect any more because of this tariff of US on this Indian rice. So that is about this entire article gist, guys. Clear? Okay, now let us see the same thing which is given here. So why US wants to impose this tariff here is domestic political pressure. Domestic political pressure is nothing but American farmers are raising concerns about this imports of Indian and Chinese rice. And next one is trade negotiation leverage. So recently we are talking about this negotiation of trade between India and US, and most of the times the talks are failed, especially regarding agriculture. Talks are failed because of this genetically modified crops. India said that no, we are not going to accept this genetically modified crops and as well as dairy products, because India is the largest producer of milk in the world. So we don't want dairy products. So trade negotiation had been stalled between India and US. It is also one more important reason. And next one here is retaliatory measures. So we are importing Russian oil and as well as defense. And recently we signed S-500, right? So because of this, again, US is not digesting that. So because of this, they want to impose more tariffs on India. And next one here is industry also complaining that US rice producer claim low priced imports erode their market share. So because of all these reasons, now US wants to impose tariff, and let us wait and see what US will do. Okay. Yeah, say this next article, guys. Over 30% students in Odisha schools drop out before higher secondary level, says CAG. So what is the full form of CAG here, guys? Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So it is a constitutional body or a statutory body? Constitutional, statutory. Some are saying statutory, some are saying constitutional. Whether it is constitutional or statutory? Constitutional. Which article talks about this CAG? 148. Okay. So open your Lakshmikant after this class and just go through this CAG. So here you have to see about articles, what are the roles and responsibilities, what is the eligibility criteria, and what is the tenure, and whether they are eligible for reappointment or not, what are the challenges. Okay. So that part I didn't add it in this class, guys. So just do work on that CAG. Already you will be having exams, right, from December 20 onwards. So in that examination, for sure you will be getting questions regarding constitutional as well as non-constitutional bodies. So anyway, you will be reading that, so that I didn't give here. So just go through your CAG from your Lakshmikant polity. And now let us see this article, what is the issue. So now CAG of India report had been released, and the name of this report is School Education in Odisha. And this report had been tabled in Odisha Assembly, guys. And it exposes that there are some systemic failures in school and mass education department. And what are the issues? There are around 30% of school students drop out before reaching higher secondary level. Before reaching this SSC, that is secondary school education, there is a very high rate of dropout which is seen in the schools. And CAG says that around 27.3% of dropout is seen in the secondary level, and around 35.3% of tribal boys are exiting before higher education. Okay, so here we are having more number of tribal students who are exiting or dropout rate. And enrollment ratio is also very less. It is around 85 to 80.4%. That is decreasing of enrollment ratio. What is the meaning of gross enrollment ratio? Number of admissions in the school is called as gross enrollment ratio. So this gross enrollment ratio is also declining in this Odisha from 85 to 80%. And next one is enrollment in this higher education also had been decreased from 48 to 43%. Okay. So here, why? What are the reasons why there is increasing of dropouts? The first one is inadequate planning and fund utilization. Regarding this government schools, we have one scheme called as Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, right? So under this scheme, around 44 to 50% of funds only used, not complete usage of the funds. That means Can we say like there is underutilization of funds? If you're not utilizing the funds which is given under that program by the government, if you're not improving infrastructure, can we get proper outcome? Again, this is one important thing we have to see. And next one here is there is no proper school uniforms and lack of bicycle incentives to the students. If the students are living in these remote areas, if they have to come to school, they need to have a proper transportation. So do our government schools can provide bus services? Because of this, government is providing bicycles. So even this bicycle incentives are stopped in this area. And next one is teacher shortage and poor pupil teacher ratio. We already know that in government schools, 1st to 5th class, everyone will be made to sit in one class and one teacher will be teaching from morning to evening for all these 5 classes, all subjects, right? So because of this, what happens if teachers are not there in the school, if only one teacher is teaching your class, for example, even you are like matured people, so if you are conducting classes from morning to evening by me, will you see me? Yes ma'am. చూసి బోర్ కొడుతుంది. How many days I have to see only Usha ma'am face in the class? Please replace the faculty. Yes or no? In the same way, students for 1 to 5th class, if there is only one teacher for years together, what happens? They'll get bored. So because of this, they want to quit their education. And next one is socio-economic barriers. There are high dropouts among marginalized groups, especially tribal people. That means there is a very high levels of poverty in this region. And next one here is data reliability issues. State also disputes that whatever the data which is given by this CAC, net enrollment ratio, some transition rates is not right. So I don't know which kind of data they took. So like that, again, there are certain issues regarding this data reliability. And what is the impact if there is a high dropouts? Education inequality happens or not, there is a increasing of the gap between haves and have-nots, between this mainstream society and as well as SC/ST societies. And next one here is it will limit the access to higher education and they'll not get the skilled jobs. Again, they will fall into that poverty vicious cycle. And next one is economic fallout. So high dropouts reduce the future workforce productivity. So if you are having proper education, proper skills, then only you can get good high paid salary jobs. But if you're not having this kind of education, if you're going for dropouts in between means, can we ensure skilled work? Again, they have to do this unskilled work. Again, that will lead to poverty, problems, everything. And this one here is because of this kind of dropouts, what are the schemes came up by the government? Can we implement that to the full potential? Again, that will lead to policy strain. And this one is national contrast. While India sees this GER increases, but this Odisha is declining, means we can see that there is improper efficiency of implementing of schemes. And we need proper better monitoring of the schemes in this region, guys. And see this text article, Aditya L1 joins global effort, revealing why the 2024 solar storm behaved unusually. So this is a very important article, and in 2026 prelims, you can expect a question regarding solar storms. In 2023, there was a question regarding this solar storms, and in 2026, again, you can expect a question regarding solar storms, or you may get question regarding Aditya L1, or else 2024 solar storm. So you may get question in these 3 areas, guys. In this 3 area, one will be there for sure. So you have to thoroughly prepare about what is Aditya L1. And next one is what is a solar storm and what is its impacts. Next one is what is 2024 solar storm, why it is different, why it behaved like unusually. Okay, if you see the context, it says that India's first solar observatory, that is called as Aditya L1 mission, along with 6 US satellites. I showed you 6 US satellites in introduction itself. India, along with that 6 US satellites, they came up with a major breakthrough. And these 6 plus 1, 7 satellites revealed why this May 2024 solar storm behaved unknownly. And please make a note, the name of that solar storm is Gano storm. You may get this question. Recently, Gano storm is in news. Which of the following mission identified this Gano storm? If I said that 2024 solar storm, if you get that kind of words, it will be easy. But in your anxiety, tension in the examination hall, sometimes you cannot recall this kind of names. Please make a note. 2024 solar storm is called as Gano solar storm. You may get question like this. Consider the following statements regarding Gano storm. Then you will be becoming blank in your examination hall. You don't get that. Don't get that kind of confusion. UPSC has this tendency of using alternate names to trap the students, guys. You have to know what are the alternate names for that events. Okay, Gano storm is nothing but 2024 solar storm which appeared in the month of May. Okay, what is the meaning of solar storm? Solar storm is nothing but the series of explosions that comes from the sun. From the sun we'll get winds, so from sun we'll get flares. They are called as coronal mass ejections. Coronal mass ejections are the solar storms which have hot gas and magnetic energy which comes from the sun. So because of this magnetic energy, because of the high intense heat, it will be having impact on the Earth's surface and as well as satellites. And even our magnetic, we have this north pole, south pole. If you use this bar magnets, it will show your north direction and south direction, and even we have compass which will show this north and south directions, right? So because of this magnetic power which comes under the sun's solar flares or solar storms, it will be affecting magnetism of our earth as well. And not only that, whatever the power grids which are there, normally these power grids which are made up of iron, right? So whatever the iron equipments which are there, very big equipments which are there, obviously they'll be getting affected. So because of this, even if you see our towers, telephone towers which are made up of some kind of metals, right? So because of this, telecommunications will also be affected because of this magnetic storms which comes from the sun. Okay. When these bubbles hit, when these particles hit our Earth's surface, it can shake our planet's magnetic shield completely, and as well as it will give trouble for our satellites and as well as communication system and even GPS system and even power grids. So this is 2023 question, guys. What are the following effects of solar flares? And they gave around 5 to 6. Many of them, they didn't selected this power grids. But on this power grids also, this solar storm will be having impact. Okay, so this point is one UPSC prelims question 2023, guys. Okay, and if you see this Aditya L1 mission, Aditya L1 mission is present between sun and as well as earth. Whatever the image that I showed you, so where this Aditya L1 mission is there, Aditya L1 is between sun and earth. So by seeing these images, you have to know observation. You have to improve your observation powers. So here we have sun and here we have earth. Between this we have this L1 position. So we have totally 5 Lagrange points, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So what are these points here is, if you want to study sun, we have to keep the satellites in these 5 positions only, so that we can balance magnetic and as well as this gravitational force of sun and earth will be balanced in that positions. If you want to study sun, we have to place that in this 5 positions only. So L1 is there between sun and as well as earth. L2 will be here out the other side of this L1 position. L3 will be like beyond this sun, and L4 and L5 will be there exactly 60 degrees above and 60 degrees below. So these are the 5 positions where we can keep our satellites which will study our sun, guys. And this Aditya L1 is there in this L1 position. It is between sun and as well as earth. On this Lagrange points also you may get a question, guys. You have to be careful. We have 5 Lagrange points. What are these points? These points will balance gravitational force of sun and as well as earth. Okay, and I showed you 6 satellites along with the 6 other satellites of NASA and our Aditya L1. They clear cut gave about what is the reason behind this unusual behavior of this solar storm. And they said one important point. That point here is, whenever we are getting this coronal mass ejections, in that coronal mass ejections also the particles, they went for interactions. In that CME itself, they are going for interactions between the particles in them. So because of this, that led to internal reconnection. So this internal reconnection is a rare phenomena which observed for the first time in this coronal mass ejections. Because of this internal reconnection, now it triggered magnetic reconfiguration, and that led to alignment of India's magnetic field oppositely because of very high energy transfer and as well as geomagnetic disturbances. So they said only one point, that is in this CME they went for the particles in this CME, that is nothing but the photons. So they went for interactions in this way of coming towards Earth, and that led to this internal reconnection, and because of this internal reconnection there is a very high energy transfer, and that led to this geomagnetic disturbances on Earth. Okay, so these are the two important points they said in this study, guys. And let us see the next article. It is about Suryakiran exercise. Already we discussed about this topic earlier, and I made you to note this, I guess. So this exercise is between India and Nepal, and it is army exercise. Okay, next topic is Supreme Court asks center to give nationwide data on missing children. So here this article is talking about one important mission, guys. Here you can see Mission Vatsalya. Mission Vatsalya. So you have to say about some facts regarding this Mission Vatsalya, and you may get prelims based question from this area, guys. Okay, now let us see certain facts regarding this Mission Vatsalya. What is this Mission Vatsalya is about, and what are the aims and objectives. And you can use this Mission Vatsalya when you are writing your answers regarding children protection, how government is enhancing protection of children. Because in your society and social justice, you have this topic called as vulnerable sections of society, where you have to see women, children, transgenders, people with disabilities, right? So there you can add this article as an example or a value addition in your answers. If you see about this Mission Vatsalya, it is a child-centric initiative by Government of India, and it mainly focuses on welfare, protection, and overall development of children in our country. And they create nurturing and supportive environment for children for safeguarding of their rights. And they are focusing on promoting a family-based approach here. And actually, you know that the children who lost their parents, or children who are abandoned by the parents, and children who are kidnapped but retrieved by the police, so for them, government will be providing fostering care and adoption services, guys. And this program will also focus on rehabilitation, reintegration, skill development in children. The important objectives are, the first one is child protection and safety, family-based care, strengthening of existing children protection systems, rehabilitation, reintegration, and they want to prevent child abuse and trafficking, and they want to collaborate with other government agencies, NGOs, etc., and they want to empower the children. So these are the aims and objectives. And there are 3 articles in your editorial section. Already we discussed that clearly in our earlier classes. I'll let you know what are those. First one, it is about Vande Mataram. In our earlier class, I said about 150th anniversary of this song, and I also gave you one prelims based question, right? The same thing about this. Don't go politically what they are like scolding about, whatever the discussions you are going about. So just see about the facts regarding this Vande Mataram, and for sure 100% you will be getting question regarding this Vande Mataram song in your 2026 prelims. You have to be very much careful, guys. And next topic, it is about care as disability justice, dignity in mental health. So in yesterday's or day before yesterday's class, we discussed about PWDs, that is people with disabilities or not having proper infrastructure in prisons. So here they are saying that they are not having even proper mental health access. The same thing. So just see this article once. And next one is regulatory failure was a contributory factor in this Goa blaze. So what happened in this Goa? So one nightclub had fire accident, and we discussed what is the reason. Firecrackers, electric firecrackers burst, that led to this fire accident. Initially in the primary investigation, they found that the gas cylinder in the kitchen had been blasted, but finally they came to the conclusion that because of this firing of electric crackers that led to this accident. So here, if you are not following proper rules and regulations, obviously it will cause this kind of disasters. So just see this last paragraph after this class. So in this last paragraph, they said that fire safety audits ought to be conducted periodically. First step, they said that one minute. Here we have to go for fire safety audits. And next they said that Community initiatives about fire safety and hazard should be mandated, and they have to led by local governance. And next they said that staff at high risk establishment must receive safety and crowd management training. So these are the 3 points they said so that we can prevent this kind of accidents in future. Okay, first one is safety audit, second one is community initiatives to be led by local governance, and next they said about high risk establishment people who are doing the work, their staff, they have to get the training and mock drills. Okay, so these are the things which are mainly said, and you can use that 3 points whenever you're writing an answer regarding this disaster management or fire accidents, guys. Okay, now let us see the prelims questions. Okay, so first question is, consider the following statements regarding Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. First one, it amends Citizenship Act 1995. Second one is, it provides for fast track citizenship to undocumented migrants from all neighboring countries. Which of the statements given is or correct? One only, two only, both one and two, and neither one nor two. Next one is, consider the following statements about May 2024 geomagnetic storm. It resulted from multiple coronal mass ejections interacting in space. Magnetic reconnection within a CME was observed for the first time, contributing to this unusual intensity. Which of the above statements are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. Online students, please give me your answer in this comment box. Don't forget. And if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And don't forget to give your review, guys. And if you want to get this notes in the PDF format, you can follow us on our Telegram channel. And we are also providing prelims question with answer and mains question with model answer, and also current affairs in short and Telegram channel. Sorry, in our Instagram page. So please do follow us our Instagram page. Thank you so much, guys.